This is the kind of game that Tom Izzo dreams about, a stress-free victory, but my God, one that he could just pull that second half tape and rail on when they do film session next. Good luck to the team.
You are Locked On Spartans, your daily podcast on the Michigan State Spartans, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Today's episode of Locked On Spartans is brought to you by FanDuel. If you want to be right in the middle of the action this season, visit FanDuel.com and place your NFL live bets all season long. Spartan friends, Spartan family, Locked On Spartans listeners, how on earth are we all doing as we are celebrating the 10th Michigan State basketball victory of the season for your top 10 Spartans, guys? We're going to talk about all hoops with the one, the only four-player and current, just lovely friend of the program. It's the one, the only Anthony Ianni. And Anthony, hey, look, never really a stressful game for your Michigan State Spartans, even though there was a sloppy second half. And that's where we'll start here because it's the holiday season. I'm feeling nice. You're the esteemed guest that the people always love to hear from. So, yeah, two roads. Which one do you want to go down? You want to go down the positive road where we're just going to skip and throw daisy petals at one another, or you want to talk about the road that Tom Izzo might be going down next practice? Do you want to go down the gloomy road and talk about how bad that second half was? Dealer's choice, AI. What do you got for us?
You know what? Because it's the holiday season and because I'm in so need of a break from working and being the school administrator, let's go down the positive road, man.
Why not? Well, the first and foremost is the Walton twins. They are for real. Those guys are gunners from three. That's right. Good on them to end the game. And shout out to Colin and Brennan. But look, there's other bigger fish to fry in that first half. All the positives here. You got a double-double from Jaxon Kohler, which Tom Izzo said if he just made a couple more layups, that would be the best half that he's ever seen from a player. Jaxon Kohler, plus 27 in the first half. Kurtang, he finished with 14 points, and that included 3 of 3 shooting from three-point land just in the first half alone. And in that first half, Michigan State, they're continuing their solid shooting, man. 47% from 3 as a team in the first half. Still finished pretty solidly overall in that game. And guys, they rebounded the team. 54-24. I felt bad for Toledo on the boards, to be honest. So, look, got a lot of good things to talk about, AI. Is it just obvious that we got to start talking about Jaxon Kohler, though? Because, my God, what a start to his senior campaign he's had. That's got to be our guy we got to start with, right?
I mean, I nicknamed him Captain Hook over a year ago. So I've been sending – I don't know if I send you my own AI versions of him as Captain Hook. I'll send you them later. But,
lovely.
You know, just from where he started as a freshman to where he's at now, it really does kind of remind me of Goran Sutan's career a little bit.
Yeah.
Goran started off really slow as a freshman, and then he started coming on his junior year, and then his senior year, he just really took off after that, and not just being in the paint, but also shooting outside from the three as well. So I couldn't be more happy for Jaxon. I know not only is he a great player, but he's even an incredible human being. Anytime I get the chance to go up there, bring my oldest son Knox with me. I mean, Jackson's always saying hi to us. He's always, playing around with Knox, like on the court and stuff. So my oldest is really taking a liking to him. He's a big fan of Jaxon Kohler. So just seeing how far he has come in the last 4 years and just to see what he's doing now, it's nothing short of incredible. But it also goes to show you what Michigan State basketball is all about. Is when you stay 4 years, you're going to build yourself. You're going to build yourself from being a freshman to not doing a whole lot to now you're a senior and putting up almost double-doubles every game. So I've been very impressed with him. And, I think the only negative I had from him tonight is a couple times I saw him go up one-handed. Like I think we had a 3-on-1. We had a 3-on-1 transition in the first half. And instead of just going up with the layup, he put up a hook shot. I'm like, okay, you're taking a hook shot with nobody on you. Come on, Jax. Like, come on, dude. Like, just going, like, I think Tom Crean said it best. Like, when we play teams like Michigan, you got to go up stronger than that. I think that's my only negative I have on Jackson. But other than that, I thought he had a very good, solid performance tonight overall.
Yeah, it's nitpicking. There's something to it. And I do wonder if, it was a bit of, I'm just playing with my food at this point. I got a double-double in the first half. Why not? Because, he had 6 offensive rebounds. It seemed like at least 4 were from his own missed layups. But look, we're not going to barbecue the guy any further than that. It's just a funny thing to point out that, you can't be carrying that into conference play, that going up with one hand and just trying to tip back in the air as you're falling down to the court. But Look, outside of that, I mean, I want to get your take on MSU finishing at the rim, because that was a thing that Izzo was a little irritated about, not just after the Penn State game, but after this one right here, even despite the, nearly 30-point victory for Michigan State here. And I'm looking at the box score right now. Between dunks and layups, they did go 19 of 26, which is far better than they did against Penn State. It's better than they did against Duke, where they were under 50% around the rim, but I don't know. Izzo still isn't thrilled about it. There are some fans that still aren't thrilled about it. You're still tall, right? I remember you being tall when you played at Michigan State. When I ran into you at Ford Field, you were still tall. You're still tall, right?
I'm still 6'9", man. I haven't gotten an inch. I'm still the same height.
Why can't you guys make every layup? What's going on here? Why is it so hard? Just take us into the body of a tall person here and describe why is it actually harder than it looks on TV?
Well, a lot of it is shooting form too, because even when I was in high school before I got to college, there were times where instead of just following through, and I teach my my son's team this all the time, is that when you put spin on the ball, or if you put really funky rotation on the ball, it's going to spin out of the rim. Instead of you just going straight up, laying it up, or just falling through your shot. Sometimes everybody's like, oh, you're tall, you should be able to make this. But if you mess up the rotation on your shot, you're going to miss it. And if you don't play through the contact as well, if you're scared to get hit by somebody, then obviously you are going to point blank miss an easy shot you should take. But, there's a reason why it's called the quote unquote easiest shot in the game. So again, you got to be able to go through contact. You got to make sure you don't put too much rotation on the ball. And it's also the angle too on the backboard. There are times where I see our guys and they're putting shots high above the square, and I'm like, okay, it's the upper corner of the backboard every time, and just put it up there soft. So it's like I tell my my players I coach, shoot it and I stole this from Mighty Ducks. Soft hands, shoot it like you're shooting an egg. Don't splat egg yolk all over my clean backboard. So shout out to Gordon Bombay and Mighty Ducks for that reference. But no, sometimes it may look easy, but it's not as easy as some people think. I've had my fair share of misses, but at the same time, not as much in college, but in high school, I had my fair share of makes as well.
Mm-hmm. This is why I wanted to drag you on the show here, because it was after the Duke game, after Penn State, and just like I said, they were under 50% around the rim. It's I need a resident tall guy. I need the tallest person I know to get on this show and atone for Jaxon Kohler and Carson Cooper's sins. And look, they were fine enough in this game. Yes, they have to finish better in Big Ten play, but
for sure,
I did want to pull out just one more positive that kind of turns into not a negative storyline, but definitely there's something has to be fixed at the 2 position here.
Yeah.
And what better way to stick your neck out in this competition than Kurt Tang having 14 points, 4 or 5 shooting from 3-point land. Like I said earlier, 3 of 3 in the first half alone. And did all that in 17 minutes. Look, I know that Devine went nuclear against Penn State. He's pretty much the sole reason you won that game. But, man, just doesn't this all make a lot more sense with Kurt Tang starting at the 2? You get Devine being able to play backup point guard instead of Denim Wojcik, and we could talk more about this later, but right behind Jaxon Kohler having a double-double in the first half, I see Kurt Tang, and I say, okay, I know this is just a one-game sample size. I know it's been a roller coaster here for him so far this year, but, God, I just feel like long-term this team's probably better off with Kurt starting at the 2. What do you think about that, AI?
No, I agree with you. When he didn't start the Penn State game at the 2, I was a little surprised by that. When we went with Trey Fort early on, I thought that was working out. And then obviously defense after that, he wasn't up to par. So I thought Kurt Tang was doing just fine. Why he was taken out of the starting lineup, that I don't know. I try to keep my business out of Michigan State basketball and just kind of worry about.
You should text Tom. You should be FaceTiming him. Come on.
I haven't talked to Iz in about a year and a half because I've been so busy, man.
Sure.
But do I sit back and question why Kurt Tang's on the bench? Yeah, I do question it. And do I think that Devine should be the backup point guard to give Jeremy some breather minutes? Absolutely, I do. So I don't know if it was just because of the play against Duke. I don't know if it was because he had an off game against Duke and it was, Tom trying to send a message to him. But, if it was me, the message I'm sending is, okay, I'm starting you and I'm going to see how you rebound after a horrible game. So I hope moving forward, it goes back to the way it was. Personally, I think, because I'm a big fan of the kid, I think Jordan Scott should get that shot too. Defensively, I think he's been very, very good. Offensively, it's coming along. He's still got a ways to go, but you could see there's a little bit more energy and a little bit more juice from the freshman. So you never know. Like, I know with Jace Richardson, I'm not comparing the two at all. I'm not doing that at all. But like, Jace came off the bench, and then once he got his game going, he was the starter after that. So, you never know. I mean, Jordan Scott could come out in January and average 15 points a game that month. And then Tom says, you know what? Yeah, this is my two. I'm going to put Divine as my backup, and I got Kurtang coming off the bench, providing big bench points. So, that's how I see it. And I know a lot of people are like, we'll probably say in the chat, nah, I don't agree with you on that, which is fine. Everybody's got their own opinions. Yeah. But, I think right now Kurtang should still be the two guy. And if he has a bad game, the message isn't, okay, I'm going to sit you. The message should be, nope, I'm going to see if you can play out of it, and then we'll go from there.
I don't know. I feel like the whole fan base is kind of divided on the two position. There are some that, yes, Divine's the answer. There are some, Jordan Scott is clearly the answer. Kurtang. Some are wondering why on earth is Trey Fort already being shipped down the Red Cedar River. I mean, come on, that was a pretty short leash to give the kid, but whatever. I mean, even myself, I change my mind on this pretty much weekly, but right now I'm in the Kurtang camp just because I've seen what it is with Divine not being able to be the backup point guard. Also, like, this sounds ridiculous. I do like Jordan Scott being that energy off the bench guy. But I mean, just, around and around this conversation goes. Hey, I do want to talk about how sloppy that second half was. We're going to play the other side of this coin here, but first, I do need to talk to people's ears off about FanDuel Sportsbook, America's #1 sportsbook, guys, because the NFL season, it's getting a little tight for my Detroit Lions here. And you know what? A lot of these games are very back and forth. That's what makes FanDuel so exciting. You're not just watching the game, you are reacting to it in real time. With FanDuel, you can place bets as the action unfolds every drive, every momentum swing, every highlight moment. And live betting is best when the game starts to shift. A receiver like Amon-Ra, he gets really hot. A defense starts to tighten up, like the Lions defense did against the Rams in the second half. My God. Or the momentum-changing turnover. Guys, you name it. Hey, go ahead, find the live bets over at FanDuel. And not just for NFL, guys, but you already know it. I do love my PDC Dart World Championship bets. We're going to go upset hunting tomorrow. Stefan Belmont plus 205 over Raymond Van Barneveld tomorrow. So we'll see if we could hit one there, guys. Whether it's darts, whether it's NFL, be in the middle of all the action this season. Visit FanDuel.com and place your NFL live bets all season long. It's FanDuel. The game moves fast, and so can you. Also, gang, Omaha Steaks, the greatest gift that you could give someone in your life, even if that person is just yourself. Treat yourself this holiday season, guys. Whether you're hosting family, planning a perfect gift, or you just want to keep things simple and delicious, Omaha Steaks is making it easier than ever. From effortless holiday entertaining to unforgettable gifts. Yep, Omaha Steaks, they are delivering the world's best steak experience straight to your door. And what makes it even better? With Omaha Steaks, you know exactly what you are gifting and getting. USDA certified tender steaks, premium proteins, gourmet sides, decadent desserts that make anyone feel appreciated. And let's say it's not just the steaks that are your speed, guys. They got burgers, chicken, pork, seafood, desserts, something for everyone on your holiday list, guys. Save big on gourmet gifts and holiday favorites with Omaha Steaks. Visit omahasteaks.com, and for an extra $35 off, use code COLLEGE at checkout. Terms apply. See site for details. Again, guys, it's omahasteaks.com, promo code COLLEGE. Now let's drag it back out here. The one, the only Anthony Ianni. And okay, well, that second half didn't necessarily go that great. Michigan State, they're up, what was it, 58-28 at halftime, and then they got outscored 41-34. Now, look, I'm not full on pulling all the alarms, panicking right now, but oh boy, 9 turnovers in that second half too. Just some sloppy play. Is that not really anything, AI? Do you think that this is just a team that was up 30 points at halftime and decided we could sleepwalk our way through the second half, or did you dissect any concerns that final 20 minutes there?
So I see it two ways. I see a team that saw we were up 30. We're going to take our foot off the gas. And if that's the case, then, your captain needs to be like, no, we're going to push this thing up to 50. We're going to push this thing up to 50 before the night's over. Because I know, whenever we were playing teams, I think we were playing like University of Wisconsin, Milwaukee. It might have been my senior year. It was like a day or 2 days before Thanksgiving. And we were up like 20 at halftime. And we were playing okay in the second half, and then Draymond gets in the huddle and just starts chewing everybody out and says, hey, we're pushing this thing to 30 before the end of the night's over. And that's what we did. We ended up winning the game by 30. So I think somebody needs to be in the huddle, be like, hey, Like, come on, like, I don't care if we're up 20 points. Like, let's push this thing to 40 before the end of the night and let's go home. Like, we still got work to do. So that stretch where we didn't score, just like turnover after turnover, miss after miss. I'm sitting on my couch and I'm just like this is sloppy. And that's when I texted you. I was like, this is not fun to watch right now. That first half was fun. Yeah. It was
great.
Really fun.
Sure.
Like, because you did what you're supposed to do. You punch them right in the mouth for 20 minutes and you get a 30-point lead. But then the second half, you kind of take your foot off the gas a little bit, and then the little team from the MAC ends up punching you in the mouth in the second half. Mm-hmm. So, I think it was just maybe taking your foot off the gas. The turnovers did concern me. They did concern me because they were it was more lazy turnovers than effort turnovers. Like there's kind
of like Penn State. That Penn State game had a few of those too.
Yeah. And plus there's a big difference between a lazy turnover and a turnover. At least you're making effort. Like if you're like in a 2-on-1 break and you accidentally throw a long pass like over somebody's head, that's not a lazy pass. It's just a bad pass. It's an effort thing. Mm-hmm. At least you're trying. Whereas there were plays that I was like, okay, we're just throwing in the corner and nobody's there. Like see before you make the play. So obviously it's going to be hashed out tomorrow in practice.
Yeah.
I will not be shocked if tomorrow's a 2-a-day practice at all. I really would not be shocked at all.
It could be a 4-a-day. It could be get in at 6 a.m. You are leaving at 11 p.m.
Because I think what they're going to do is I wouldn't be shocked if it's a 9 a.m. film session.
Okay.
They get breakfast real quick, and then they got a 12 o'clock practice, and then quick lunch, and then you're back in the arena at 6 o'clock for another hour and a half, 2-hour practice. Especially nobody's on campus now. That's the other thing. Nobody's on campus. So
right.
If you want to get those 2-a-days in, like that's probably what's going to happen. So obviously there's a lot of things to iron out. But at the end of the day, they're going to get ready for Oakland on Saturday. But I will say this, as much as I love the kid, I need Cohen Carr to step up a little bit.
Okay. Let's talk about that. Yeah.
So okay. The first few games he came out hot. Like
sure.
I feel like when he was shooting the ball, he was confident. The Duke game happened. He kind of got locked up a little bit, which understandably Duke's one of the best defensive teams in the country.
Yeah, for sure.
It's going to happen. And so are we. That's why that game was as low as it was scoring wise. But, for me, I kind of see Cohen just kind of, not shooting with confidence as much. So I think once he gets that confidence back, and again, I could be completely wrong. He may just be having an off streak again because I'm not around the team. Mm-hmm. I don't know anything that goes on there, but I could just tell, it just looks like when he catches the ball, like before first 5 games of the season, he was letting that thing go. And I feel like he gets the ball now, and it's just like, do I shoot it? Do I drive it? So I think he just needs to play, man. I think he just needs to take all the weight off his shoulders. There's no pressure on him right now. There really isn't. Just go out and play like you know how to play. And we know how he plays. He can shoot the rock, and he's going to jump over everybody in the gym.
Yeah.
But again, that's just me. That's what I've been noticing. But I think at the end of the day, he's going to be fine.
It's a conversation worth bringing up because you see it, on Twitter, conversation with different Michigan State fans. It's like, wow, Cohen Carr, I kind of thought he'd be a little bit further along at this point in his career, especially how strong he ended last season. And he did start the game with that jumper, and it was all bottoms. But yeah, after that, it just, I don't know if timid's the right word, but yeah, lacking confidence in that shot. And I get it. It has now been 6 games, I believe, since he's last hit a 3-pointer. And I'm not asking him to be 2016 Steph Curry, but can you stretch the floor? Can you be at least a little bit effective in a half-court offense? Should a team switch to zone like Duke did a little bit ago? Because that's where that game essentially ended, right when they switched to that 3-2 zone.
Mm-hmm.
But look, I'm glad you brought it up. I'm kind of in a holding pattern right now. I still like overall what we're seeing from Cohen Carr. I think that there's more season that he can certainly improve upon. I mean, the season's not even halfway over, but yeah, I don't know. I'm glad you brought it up because other people are having that conversation here. There's something I do want to also talk about too, and I hate having this conversation over and over again because it's not this kid's fault. He's been vaulted into this now important role of being the backup to Jeremy Fierce, seemingly. But okay, Denon Wojcik transfers here from Harvard. He averaged 2.5 points a game. He played like 14 minutes a night over there. This isn't some kid that was coming over here supposed to being Jeremy Fierce's backup, man. 12 minutes tonight. He did have 6 assists in 12 minutes. That's great. That's awesome. But something's not meeting the eye here. 0-3 shooting tonight. It's not really like a threat at all to shoot. And I need to see Divine just take the backup point guard duties again. Maybe I'm just over exaggerating because it's Penn State, who cares? It's Toledo, who cares? Maybe even against Oakland and Cornell next week, you'll see him a little bit. But I just don't know if I could be stomaching like 8 to 12 minutes of Denim Wojcik per Big Ten game. Am I just being a big old mean bully, or truly like? This is also the conversation we had 10 minutes ago. This is why you need to figure out the 2 position so Devine can go back home and being that guy that chews off 12, 14 minutes off the clock when Fierce is on the bench. I hate having the conversation, but we have to have it.
I think, again, Matt, it goes back to what we talked about in the beginning of the show, is that, Kurtang is your 2 guy. Plain and simple.
Someone has to be. It's either Kerr or Scott at this point.
Well, I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. And I think like the way it was going with Kurtang in the beginning of the season, and obviously he didn't start in the beginning. Trey Fort did.
Yeah,
but then once Kurtang started playing really well and started shooting the ball well, he was inserted in that 2 spot. So, my opinion, I think it'll go back to Kurtang being the 2, and you'll see Devine at the 1 here and there. But if you think about this too, we had 2 point guards last year. We had Fears and we had Trey Holloman started, and then Trey would come off the bench and be, the 2 guys. So I think, again, these next 2 games, you're going to see lineups messed around and everything like that. And then once they play Nebraska, they're going to have a set lineup in, because Nebraska's not a gimme. They are a very good team. Not anymore. They are a very, very good team. And what Coach Hoiberg has done out there, there's a reason why I love Coach Hoiberg. He's a heck of a coach, man. Yeah. So it's not a gimme to go out there. Like, that crowd's going to be all jacked up. It's going to be a top 15 matchup for sure. So, the lineups will be hashed out by then. And so, obviously we all trust him that he's going to do the right thing. And so I think at the end of the day, you're going to see Kurtang back at that 2 spot before the Big Ten play starts.
I want to go back to, what you're talking about with the 2-a-day practices, because those are allowed since Michigan State doesn't have classes right now. And want to just make a lot of things into just one big question here, because the Penn State game, that was off the heels of finals week. And now you get into this week, the Izzo is gone. It's just a bunch of people sitting on their seats, still making some noise, of course. I'm not saying there are a bunch of cardboard cutouts down there, but there's a difference between your student Izzo and, not them being there.
Right.
My question is, especially against an opponent that you probably know you're going to throttle and did throttle in the first half, it's a really lazy question, but how weird are these games? Like, is it a really total weird 180 from what you're used to? Or
Yes, it's really weird, because you're so used to the is zone and the loud noises when we're on defense and the cheering and just, there's a reason why they are one of the best student sections in the country, and how they just turn games around based off of the hype and everything. So it is weird. I remember the games we play. We go out there and we're on defense, and I'm just sitting on the bench. I'm like, man, it's is this the library? Like, where are we at right now? For real. Yeah. So it's very different. But one thing we always talked about was you got to find your own energy. You got to find your own energy as a team, and because there are going to be games where you go on the road, and we played at Eastern Michigan my senior year, and that was probably a little bit quieter than when the Izzo wasn't there. So games like that, you got to provide your own energy. So, when the Izzo's not there, you got to find your own energy. Give the crowd a reason to get into it. So, yeah, it's weird, but at the same time, you have a role on the team. Everybody's got a role to make sure they provide their own energy for the team, whether it's the managers, whether it's the players, the coaches. You've got to find your own energy and bring it every game when the Izzo is not there.
Speaking of bringing your own energy, I was just fascinated to just get your perspective on this. And I don't know how many times you guys went into halftime up 20 or up 30 against a mid to low major team, but what are those halftimes like? Because you're up 58-28. Izzo can't possibly be screaming during every single halftime, right? Just take me inside of what you think the locker room felt like. Up 30 points, you just dropped a 58 burger. Surely he's got to take it easy on these guys, right? Or are you going to prove me wrong here and share an anecdote that's going to blow me away?
No, he'll look for the littlest things ever. If you're not calling a ball screen, he's going to pull up because again, we have the TVs and the film footage where you're not calling that ball screen. He's going to call you out on it. Okay. If you shoot a bad shot or if you're not running the play right, he's going to call you out on it. I think the locker room after the game is probably a little bit more interesting.
A tad more
bit.
fire, perhaps. Yeah.
But I mean, in games where we were up by like 20 plus points, like again, like there's no yelling. You know, he's gonna point out the stats that we need to do better on.
Okay.
But then he's also gonna call you out if you're not doing your job. So there have been times he's gotten in guys, you know, before about just their effort and whatnot. And so, and then the second half, you see guys do that. So, but after the game, I'm trying to think if there was any stories where he just came in and just ripped us apart because it was a game where we just flat out did not play well. Okay. There wasn't too many of those, but he has done that before.
Yeah.
So, and we all know the halftime stories too. First half, like Oregon last year when we were down big. And the first thing I said to one of my buddies was, man, I would love to be a fly on the wall in that locker room right now.
I would have hated it. I think that game at home against Oregon, they were down, what was it, 85 points at halftime. I think something that would have made me so uncomfortable. That's how crazy it would have been. So, look, but AI, before we let you go, I meant to bring this up on yesterday's show, never got around to it, but this is a tweet from Tony Paul of the Detroit News, and this is cool, and this is what Tony even said in his tweet too. Exclusive and a cool story. Get ready for a Thanksgiving Day doubleheader in Detroit in 2026. MSU is planning on a game against a, quote, marquee opponent at Little Caesars Arena right after the Lions. That put Detroit on national TV for 6+ hours. So let's just play the guessing game. Who could this opponent be? Now, we do know 2 non-conference opponents for Michigan State already next year. They got Duke in the Champions Classic, and then this Arkansas, I believe, is a home and home. So it's probably not going to be Arkansas unless they want to trade their game from Bud Walton and go up here for some reason. And I don't think it's going to be Duke unless they want to play us for a second time. I've got one. And I don't even know if there's a connection between these 2 coaches other than being old and Italian, but give me St. John's coming to town. Ooh. I want it to be clear. Ooh. There are some times where I got against that information. I try to be cute about it and leave a riddle for the listeners. I got none of that for this. This is all, I'm going off the cuff right now, throwing darts at a wall that doesn't even have a dartboard right now. St. John's is who I'm going to go with.
So
Place your bets, AI. Place your bets.
I'm going to go 2. I'm going to go with my gut, and I'm going to go with my heart on this one.
Okay.
My gut is telling me Gonzaga.
That would be electric.
Yep.
Oh, yep. I like that one.
I don't know why, but part of me thinks it's Gonzaga because of the relationship between Coach Izzo and Mark Few.
Sure. Absolutely.
My other guess, my heart, is telling me UConn.
Okay. You know what?
So
I would welcome that, obviously.
I would too.
Dan Hurley just like, don't give that guy any more spotlight than he already has. Like, that's just
actually, no, because I think UConn's coming to East Lansing next year for the exhibition.
Oh,
so I don't think it would be UConn. So you know what? I'm sticking with Gonzaga. I'm going to stick with the Zags.
I like that.
So place your bets there. Place your bets.
You know what? There's one more that just came to mind, and I believe these guys have somewhat of a relationship. They've both been around the college game for quite some time, and I'm going to go down to SEC country. Actually, a game I was just watching before I came down here, Tennessee. Ooh, could Rick Barnes be shipping up here? Would that be a marquee enough of an opponent? I feel like it would. I mean, they fit the billing, right?
I mean, it could be. I mean, they're ranked in the top 20 every year.
Yeah.
Another one I just thought of, and again, going back to the SEC. And this team has not played Michigan State, I think, in maybe 15, 16 years. Florida.
I was going to say, we're chomping, aren't we? Yeah, that was. I mean, look, there isn't a bad opponent out there.
Now, selfishly, this is the matchup I want next year.
Oh, man. Wow. Nate Oates coming back home.
Michigan ties right there.
Wow.
You know what? I'm going to change my mind. I think it's Alabama.
Let's go.
I think it's AI
Bowl.
I think it's the AI Bowl.
The AI Bowl. They got you doing the jump ball, and then you're ushered right to your courtside seat right after you do the opening tip. Goodness.
And then 3 weeks later, I'm in Tuscaloosa getting my master's degree in higher education ministry.
Life is a movie. How about that for your 2026 Thanksgiving, AI? That's it. I think we just made the plans right there. Hey, you said you haven't talked to Izzo in about a year and a half. Until tonight, call him and say, hey, you might not know this, but I have your opponent, actually. You just got to
Alabama.
figure out how to make it work. So there you go. There you have it, folks. Guys, that is the one, the only AI. Anything you want to leave us with before we let you go and enjoy the rest of your holiday season here, AI?
Oh man, a couple things. Just want to shout out to Spartan Nation. Hope everybody has a safe and wonderful, happy holiday. Miss a lot of you guys. I haven't seen all of you in a minute. Also want to shout out to my family too, man. My fiance, they've won their last 2 skating competitions.
Hey, now let's go.
They placed second. They placed second out in California about a month ago. My youngest son finished his first competition of flag football. He's going to start basketball. My oldest son, Knox, injury bug right now, but he's off to averaging 10 and 10 right now. And shout out to my daughter Lola, who's becoming a sassy little girl now. So,
hey, there we go.
So shout out to my family. But again, Spartan Nation, happy holidays. Hope you all have a safe and blessed holiday. Miss y'all, man.
AI, you're the best. This is why the people love you, my man. Guys, you are also the best too. All the viewers, all the listeners. We will be back tomorrow. We're going to switch it back. We're going to get over to football, unless there's some crazy breaking news in the basketball side of things. But yeah. Plan accordingly. It's going to be some football. Maybe an offensive coordinator might be hired here in the near future. I don't know. But regardless, we're going to be talking football. And then, just even a little bit more Spartans ahead of this Oakland game on Saturday. Until next time, love you all. Go Green.